Hello and welcome to DRS with Ash. I've got the record-making Ajaz Patel with me, and should I call him a Kiwi or an Indian? I don't know. Let's just make it. Okay, we'll ask him what to make it. Do you
Both.
like being called a Kiwi or an Indian?
I think I'm definitely Kiwi now, Indian by heritage for sure. So a bit of both, really. I guess anytime you have to fill out a form, they ask you your heritage. You always tick Indian. They ask you your nationality, you tick New Zealander. So yeah, both works.
That's quite a good cross-cultural way to put it. And so the recent feat of yours, 10 wickets and then four in the second innings, 14 in the game, has it really sunk in? Because I sometimes as a cricketer wonder lying down in the bed when you do good things on the field, it just takes a bit of time to sink in, right? Like people are talking about it. How does it feel?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, like I think it's also one of those things. I think when you're a cricketer and you understand that the things that are involved in the game for you to be able to achieve something like that, you need a lot of luck going your way. So to a certain degree, you feel kind of like yes, you bowled well and you took those wickets, but at the same time, I don't think it's all just done by you. I think that you're definitely fated to achieve something like that. I mean, the lineup that we have, and for a bowler not to take a wicket from the other end for a whole innings is quite surprising, especially in the modern era and the modern game, where I guess the modern game's so quick as well, and so to be able to do that, I guess is something special. But at the same time, I still feel kind of uncomfortable with it, to be honest with you, to a certain degree.
Why would you say it's uncomfortable?
Well, because like you take a fifer and you feel like, okay, yeah, I've really earned that, or I've really worked for that. And I guess taking a tenfer, yes, you've worked for it and you've earned it, but at the same time, you feel like there's a lot of luck and a lot of destiny involved. So it's a bit harder to swallow. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's certainly been a lot harder to accept than a nice fifer somewhere, but. I'm sure I will. I mean, I still obviously look back at it quite fondly and admire what's happened and pretty happy about what's happened. But sometimes it is still kind of that you're a little bit in disbelief, and I think I will be for a while.
I'll tell you what. I think it's very humble of you to say whatever you said, but there is so much more than what you feel about it. Because as a spinner, having played the game for a while and also having played the game a lot in India, it requires a spinner to be putting the ball in the right place all the time and creating enough pressure and beating the bat and earning the false shot. For example, let's just say you assume Mayank Agarwal's dismissal in the second innings at long off, or maybe Siraj's hoik. I don't know what exactly you mean by saying you need a bit of luck and destiny. Yes, you need all of them, but these are not things that happen just like that. You've beaten the bat quite a bit, and you could have just
Mm.
got Mayank out caught behind or something at any stage of the game. So I just feel you're probably allowing it to sink in. Once it's done, I'm
Yeah,
sure you.
I mean, I guess when you put it that way, it makes it a little bit more, I guess it feels a little bit more rewarding if it's kind of put that way. Because yes, you do definitely you have to work for it. It doesn't kind of obviously taking 10 wickets is not like even taking 5 wickets is not like you just put a ball there and you take 5 wickets. We know that in international cricket, there's some very very good batsmen and. The Indian team and the national Indian team when it comes to playing spin bowling are second to none. So yeah, you definitely have to bowl the ball in good areas for long periods of time. And I guess the further along, I guess that I go with this, and the more time I have to kind of absorb it, I'll probably look back at it and go, actually, that's probably one of the best spells that I've bowled. At the current time, I guess I'm just looking at the outcome as opposed to the processes that really took me there and how I had to work for it.
I'm sure you will come to terms with it over a period of time. Maybe the loss makes you feel like maybe allowing you to sink in a little better. But any conversations around allowing you to get the 10th wicket? Because taking you back to Ferosha Kotla when Anil Kumble got those 10 wickets against Pakistan, there were a couple of times when Harbhajan got an inside edge of Saeed Anwar and just popped here and there. And then Javagal Srinath kept bowling wide to the tailenders. They wanted Anil to probably get those 10 wickets. They were helping him out. Any such discussions happened in the huddle when you were on a 9 for?
To be honest, not really. I just remember. I mean, I kind of remembered because as a bowler, you know how many balls you've bowled in the over, and I'm one of those people that I can't, have a decent idea of where I am in the over. So I knew that obviously I had another 4 balls left in the over. So I basically, I just said to myself, well, I've got 4 balls to do this. I didn't even think about the other end. I kind of said, look, I've got 4 balls, otherwise it's not going to happen because there may be a wicket at the other end. And also, I guess from a game point of view as well, like earlier than that, I mean, a lot of people ask me, oh, when did you start thinking about it? And quite honestly, I only started thinking about it in the ninth and after the 9th wicket, because before that, for me, it was like, well, the sooner we can get these guys out, the sooner we can go into the sheds. And also, like, you know, the total was obviously creeping up further and further. So from a game perspective, obviously, I would have been happy if we managed to get you guys out earlier. But I guess from a personal achievement point of view, it's only kind of when I got down to the 9th wicket when I started realizing, oh, actually, I've got a possibility of doing this here. But then it was like, oh, there's a lot of pressure on here because I've only got 4 balls to do it. Then that's how I built it up in my head. I didn't really think about the fact that, you know, guys from the other end might bowl negatively to allow me to take that 10th or anything like that. And I suppose it was also because it was the first innings, you know, because you're trying to build the game, you're trying to set up the game. So it never really crossed my mind. I mean, when I was at the top of my mark bowling the first ball to Siraj, I was like, well, I've got 4 balls here and I've got to create something in this 4 balls. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult.
So in fact, as Siraj was walking out to bat, I just made a statement to him: getting a 10-wicket haul in an innings is really tough, and make sure he earns it. That's exactly what I said when he was going out of the dressing room. And the first ball he hiked over the top, and then he hiked one more over, and you got caught at mid-on.
The first ball was the one that he inside edged, and it went down to fine leg. And that one was very close. Like, honestly, if that had hit him or hit any part of the shoe, I was going to go up massive. And then the next, I think it was the next ball that he went for the big 6, and I was just like, went sky high. I felt so bad for Rachin being so young under a ball like that, under so much pressure. But it held up there for so long, and we're all just kind of standing there, just watching him, waiting for him to kind of take this catch. And I just remember just feeling so ecstatic in the moment, and quite relieved to a certain degree as well. Because obviously, having spent 40-something overs out there bowling from one end, pretty much at the time, I was exhausted. So it was kind of nice to know that you're going to be able to put your feet up.
We talk a lot about homecoming, right? Like the moment you got the 10 wickets and then you were walking off the field, like with the ball in your hand. I just felt you were a little sheepish, just looking up, just looking down and up, and it kind of felt really, really cute to a large extent. You don't probably get that sort of. I don't know. Was the crowd or was the whole occasion overwhelming you? I don't know what it was, but how did it feel? Have you ever been to the Wankhede as a youngster to watch any test matches? To actually watch?
Not so much test matches. Like, we lived quite a way out of the city in Mumbai, so I mean, we never really got to get out to Wankhede. I went to a few IPL games, and I remember sitting in the crowd, and you know, I went through Mitchell McClenaghan, who got me a few tickets to go and watch. And I remember sitting in the crowd, and I had family next to me, and I'm trying to talk to them, but I literally can't hear what they're saying back. And I just remember thinking, like, if it's like this for us sitting in the crowd, what must it be like for the player out in the middle? Like, you know, when that crowd's buzzing and that noise is happening, like, how do you, you know, maintain that focus and kind of go about it? So I remember thinking that. And then I remember when I was walking off, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm quite, like, that's kind of my personality to a certain degree as well. I'm not very, like, outwardly about things. It's very kind of internal for me. So it was kind of a little bit kind of like a shy moment to a certain degree. All these people applauding you and, you know, congratulating you. And it was humbling as well for me, obviously, because, you know, in that moment, there was flashbacks of the journey that I've been on to kind of get to Mumbai in the first place. And I remember the night before just literally just praying to God, saying, look, I just want 5 wickets so I can get my name on the board. And how cool would it be to leave my name on the board? But I remember walking off and I was just thinking, well, I certainly didn't expect that or to unfold, and I know that my name's definitely going to be on that board forever. So yeah, it was a special moment, quite humbling. But yeah, it was like, obviously, having everyone's eyes on you, it does tend to, obviously it's all for good reasons, but for some reason I always shy away from it a little bit. So maybe something I've got to get better at.
No, no, it's always like that for the bowlers, because I tell you, when a batsman makes 100, you're all alone and the crowd is applauding. You're far away from the crowd and you're just racing the bat and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff. The
yeah,
theater happens. But as a bowler, whenever you've got a 5 wicket all, you're always surrounded by the teammates. You can't really show
mm,
off. There are 11 guys, two guys pulling you down, and the other saying, "Oh, come on, put your ball down," or whatever it is. So
yeah,
it's always tough for the bowlers, not just in the game but off it
yeah,
as well. Anyway,
yeah, yeah, for
uh,
sure.
just diving a little away from the game, we spoke about it, about you migrating from India to New Zealand earlier when you were about 6 or 7 years old. It's been a long journey. You've been in Kiwi land for a while. A lot of people tend to migrate. A lot of Indians tend to migrate, and for better lives, better livelihoods. I'm sure your family did the same. Your mother was a teacher. Your father was, if I'm not right, he had
That's
a
great.
refrigerator. Yeah,
Yeah.
refrigeration sort of. How was it? How are those early years as a young family moving from India to New Zealand?
Yeah, it was certainly. I mean, I guess for me, I was so young that I didn't really kind of at the time comprehend or understand how big a move it was for my parents. But obviously, their sacrifice was all just to give us a better lifestyle, and so that we could grow up and have opportunities that they probably didn't see for themselves. And to be able to, I guess, be in a position now where see how happy they were from that achievement and that's probably the biggest rewarding factor for me. That was the biggest thing that I got out of that 10 wicket haul was, seeing the happiness that it's brought to my family and my friends and how overjoyed they've been. Because that move was a tough one for them. Obviously, when we moved over, really moved over with nothing. We had family there who supported us in the early years, my uncles and my aunts and stuff like that. And my dad literally just slogged away. It was, I guess, being from India and migrants from India, they had that mentality already of just grinding and working hard, as all Indians do, because that's just the nature of what it is to be in India. But being able to do that in New Zealand, but also see that flourish and become something that they can make a life for us, to be comfortable and allow us to kind of expand, was probably the biggest thing. And they've made a lot of sacrifices along the way. It certainly wouldn't have been easy for them, but they never showed us how difficult it was. So it was quite special for me and my sisters and my family. The amount of support that we've had and the amount of effort that our parents have put in, and not only my parents but even my extended family. The support that they gave us, especially through the early years, but even later on in life, to allow us to be comfortable and be able to chase this dream of mine to play cricket, because it takes a lot of time. You have to invest a lot of energy, and you need those resources and that backing to be able to do it. It's not as simple as I'll take up cricket and all of a sudden you're in the national side. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time commitment. But for them to have the patience and the trust and the belief that okay, you can do something and work hard and you're able to achieve it is quite special. And I think sometimes as Indian in the Indian culture, obviously education comes number one and sport comes number two, which there's nothing wrong with it. I still believe in education is very important, but also being comfortable with the child pursuing, I guess, sports. Now in the modern era is probably a viable way to earn a living as well. So, yeah, a crazy move. When I look back at it and think about it, I was fortunate that I didn't have to go through the slog. But obviously, like early years, kind of branded clothes weren't a thing. To this day, whatever you see of me, I generally wear a simple coloured tee and a nice pair of jeans and some nice shoes. But and that's the upbringing we had. My grandmother was the first one to buy me a pair of Nike shoes when I was about, I think, 10 or 11, maybe. My uncle was the first one to enroll me in a cricket club. So that kind of shows, the family support that I had to kind of be able to do and get to where I am. So I'm very, very grateful because I know that the journey wasn't easy for them, although they made it seem pretty easy for us. So it was quite nice of them, and a lot of hard work's gone in from them for me to be sitting where I am.
It's a generation to generation thing. I spoke to a couple of friends a few days ago, and we were talking about how that generation of parents were so different.
Mm.
They were struggling hard day in and day out just so that they can make a house for the kids, or a livelihood for their kids, and so on and so forth. And they really sacrificed everything to give us that platform where we can take off from, and it's happening in
100%.
the right way as well. So as I said about the generation which gave us a platform where we can take off from, and now my kids and your kids will have the advantage of really enjoying life and not really looking after the platform. They just need to try and just take off whichever direction they want to. So
Yeah.
that's what our parents did. So credit to your parents as well. But what exactly did your parents do? Does your mother continue to teach as soon as she lands there? Does your father continue with refrigeration? What sort of work did they do?
No, so mum, well, once we got here, mum literally just became a housewife, because her education from from India didn't quite carry over, because she would have had to study further, and then not going straight into becoming a citizen. The international fees were far too high for us to pay to, at the time, for her to upskill into a New Zealand qualification. But also, my dad changed his field from India to New Zealand. He was a refrigeration technician in India, and as soon as he got to New Zealand, he became a mechanic and a tire man. So yeah, it's quite amazing. Like, obviously, for them to be able to just change careers like that. My uncle had an automotive workshop when we got here, so my dad would go in and work with him, and literally about maybe 6 months to a year or two later, he opened up his own workshop. And he couldn't. My mum was the English speaker in the family. Dad could speak bits and pieces, but not so much. So it was an interesting dynamic for him to open up his own workshop, because I used to go in on a Saturday, because over here you have Saturdays and Sundays off, and in the winters I'd go into the workshop with him on a Saturday. And so I remember even my childhood memories. He'd pick up the phone, but he wouldn't really understand what the person at the other end was saying. So then he had other workers that he would pass the phone on to, who would then be like, "Oh, this is what they're after," and Dad would say, "Yep, call them in," or whatever. And that's kind of where he started. And he's done really well for himself now. He's into construction and building. So he's continually kind of changed and grown in terms of the entrepreneurship side of things. But the reality is, and he always says to me, like, for us, for his generation, they didn't have a choice. Like you just mentioned, like, for them it was like, literally, if we want to do something in life, we just have to go out there and work. We don't have a choice. We can't just pick and choose which direction we want to go in. And so for him, it was like anything that he picked up and anything that he wanted to do, he just threw himself in there and didn't worry about the risks involved or anything. Because even to this day, I think sometimes we shy away from things because we think they're quite risky. Whereas for them, it was like, well, nothing's too risky because they've come from somewhere where we can't even imagine, you know what I mean? And where we are now. So for them, they don't see it as a risk, and they just jump in, but they're willing to do the hard work. And my cricketing journey's been a lot about that, in terms of trying to emulate what my parents have done, and understanding that the hard work that they've put in is probably nothing compared to, probably a lot compared to what I've done. So the work that I've put in is nothing compared to what they've gone through in life. So if I can work half as hard as they have to achieve something in life, I'm sure I'll do something, special, hopefully.
You've already done something really special to keep them having their heads held high.
Yeah.
Look, there is this constant. I mean, especially amongst cricketers or even some of the other professions as well. People think change is very scary. Change always means resistance. But your case study where your father is actually changed constantly to try and make ends meet is just amazing. And change is the only constant in life. We just resist it because we're scared of it. But then, like you said, Saturdays and Sundays, you used to go into the garage and you used to help him with whatever you could. I've noticed a trend. I've seen a lot of migrant families in other countries. The kids and the extended family start jumping into the same business because that's the only way the business starts flourishing. Because the cost per hour to pay your workers are very high, and so people
Yeah.
just have to fall into the line. But how did cricket happen? How did your family sort of allow you to fly away?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I still help in the family business, whatever it may be. But I guess I have the luxury now to do it
How
kind
do
of
you, how
around.
do you help? How do you help?
Um, so now that Dad's into construction and stuff like that, I do a lot of kind of the emails and stuff like that for him when he needs, and also sometimes having to deal with his lawyers and stuff like that. So, and that's given me good life skills, to be honest with you, outside of the game as well. Not necessarily qualifications, but general life skills that I'm sure will come in very handy at some point, whether it be in my cricketing career or outside. But yeah, I certainly agree with you, and I'm probably a big culprit of that as well, to a certain degree, in terms of accepting change and being willing to change things. Obviously, I've been very meticulous in terms of the way I wanted to bowl and way I wanted to play my cricket and stuff like that. But the modern game changes so quickly on you now, that you have to keep adapting, you have to keep changing. And I suppose your journey in the last couple of years is probably a great reflection of that as well.
How did cricket happen, and why did it happen? How long ago was it?
Yeah, so my cricketing journey actually started quite, I guess, relatively early. And in terms of, I started playing structured. Well, I played school cricket when I was a youngster, around when I got to New Zealand, but that wasn't so formal. It was just kind of turn up on a Saturday, play cricket, go home. But it started getting a bit more structured when I got enrolled in club cricket for the first time. Then you had trainings to turn up to and go to training, and then you play the game on the weekend, and all of a sudden your results start meaning something, because at that age group there was representative teams as well that were being selected. I never made a rep team until I made kind of under 17s. And my second year of under 17s, I made the Auckland under 17s. And it's funny because when things happen, they happen very quickly, don't they? And so I made my first rep team on the Saturday, I think it was, and then I got called for a trial game on the Sunday for the under 19s. And that happened because a bowler in the under 19s had fractured his finger, and so they needed another bowler to go on tournament with them. And that's where I went to that trial game, did well, and then got picked for the under 19s. And I played 3 years as a seamer for the under 19s for Auckland. And Ajaz Patel was my coach, and that was kind of the first time where I met Ajaz, and had that interaction and built that relationship with him over those 3 years. And I had a couple of good tournaments, but the reality was I wasn't getting picked, even though I was doing well. But there was something missing, and I guess they saw the height as an issue when it came to playing further up. And so I kind of, being disappointed, obviously I felt like I was bowling
Were you
quite well.
still bowling seam?
Yeah. So I played 3 years, and so then it was kind of the disappointment of that, and I just sat there going, well, if I want to play higher up, how am I really going to do that? Am I going to be able to do it as a fast bowler? Everyone else seems like I can't, and everyone's kind of, it seems from the outside that people believe that I can't do it as a seamer. So is there something else that I can do? And I was really, really, I guess, passionate about playing international cricket. And I knew there'd be hard work involved. I probably didn't realise at the time how much hard work there was going to be. And so I spoke to a few guys. Barrington Rowland was one. Ajaz Patel was another. And there was a few others, my school coach and stuff like that. And I said to them, look, this is what I'm thinking. What are you guys' thoughts? Can I give it a crack? And Ajaz said to me, look, I'll help you with the action. Barrington, who was my club coach, said to me, "We'll assist you in playing Premier cricket so that you can learn your craft while you're there." And so I did that for the first year, and from there, really just my passion for spin bowling grew. I honestly, genuinely had this worry that I was going to start taking up spin bowling, not enjoy it, and still be thinking about, in my head, running up and bowling seam, watching the ball swing. But I'm very, very grateful that I made that change. It was certainly a big decision at the time, but my family support was massive around that time as well, because prior to that, I'd just been to the MRF Pace Foundation and worked with Shekhar Sir on fast bowling. And then a year later, I all of a sudden said to my dad, I'm going to become a spinner. So for him to accept that was a massive thing, and the support, and to say, look, if you believe you can do it, then go for it. That probably helped me a lot. and then it just gradually grew from there. The journey, I guess, when it started, it was around 2009, 2010. We're sitting in 2021 now, so it's been a good 10, 11-year journey to get to this point. When you really think about it, it's quite young for a spinner. In 10 years, I've kind of learnt my craft and tried to hone it as much as I can. So I'm hoping that it grows more and more, and I can keep improving, and that fire's still going. Who knows how long for?
As we grow older, or as we keep playing the game, right, we keep getting scarred. We have experiences, we keep getting scarred, and we feel like if we do something, if we change something, we lose it all. And that's probably the greatest enemy a person or a human being can have on this planet, because everything that's happened in your life has given you the incentive to say change. Your father has shown it to you, your mom has shown it to you, and then you yourself have changed after playing under 19 cricket to a spinner, and it's given you great rewards. So there is a massive learning. I'm not, obviously you're learning on the go, you're 33 years old, and you can probably advise me equally enough, but there's a great learning from this particular chat that I'm having with you. So it just takes me to the next question, which you led me on to, talking about white ball cricket and the way spinners are being, used in white ball cricket. Uh, what are your thoughts on Ajaz, the white ball bowler? Obviously, look, I look at New Zealand cricketers, some of them like someone like a Neil Wagner and someone like yourself, having great control, developing a lot more ammunition, being able to go up and down as a spinner. Neil Wagner has developed a knuckle ball, has bowling a beautiful in swinger. It was never in his arsenal. There is so much improvement amongst the Kiwi cricketers that these cricketers can be looked at a white ball format as well. Looked at for the white ball format as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've always fancied myself as a three format bowler, and I've never kind of restricted myself to kind of that one bubble of just red ball. I've always fancied myself as a white ball cricketer, but like the other problem we face as international cricketers is generally there's one or two guys who can take that position as spinners, especially, and like you say, at the moment we've probably got some of the best white ball spinners going around when it comes to international cricket in Mitch and Ish. So it's very, very difficult to actually crack into that team and get those opportunities. But my main focus is every time I get an opportunity, I try and make the most of it. I mean, I came off the recent tour in Bangladesh where I finished the leading wicket taker in that T20 competition. But certainly my white ball game's developed, and it's definitely growing. It's one of those things like now, I mean, a lot of people probably don't give finger spinners as much credit as wrist spinners. But I think if you look at some really good finger spinners, like you talked about, the control, the ability to go up and down, which is probably something leg spinners or wrist spinners don't have the luxury of. So being able to change the ball on a whim, or being able to either change the length on a batsman or change that up and down movement on a batsman based on what you think he's going to do next, I think that's a very valuable asset to be able to have as a finger spinner. And making the most of the surface and getting something out of the surface when you don't necessarily see it turning. Because we know that as spinners, if it's not turning, there's other ways that you can, get a batsman out. We certainly had to learn it in New Zealand because you're faced with conditions where you're probably not going to turn the ball as much. So it's how do you beat a guy in the air? How do you beat him in length? How do you use the crease? And how do you kind of, switch your wrist position up? And I suppose that's one thing that I look at in that 10 wicket 10-wicket innings is I use that wrist position quite often in terms of being able to get something different out of the ball every time that I want it to, and get something off the surface. So I definitely believe I have the ability to be a successful white ball bowler. It's just lack of opportunities at the moment. I hope that those opportunities keep opening up so that I can really showcase what I've learnt when it comes to white ball, but also grow more as well.
I repeat, the white ball stuff is more of a perception, I feel. The reason, again, you talked about leg spinners playing and getting it. One of the reasons why leggies are very successful is how inaccurate they can be without their own knowledge in a T20 game. So when they look to bowl a good length ball, it sometimes falls really full, which means they skew it to long on or long off. Sometimes they want to drag the length back. It's a half tracker, and then they get dragged to mid wicket. So if someone, a finger spinner who's got control, can deliver control and at the same time be inaccurate occasionally on purpose, that spinner is a valuable asset in the T20 format. It's just a feeling. And someone like you who plays in New Zealand, economy rate of 7.3s in the T20 format. New Zealand has really small grounds, really good drop-in wickets.
Yeah,
I just feel Ajaz Patel is here to stay.
Especially kind of, I mean, my role within the team when it comes to T20s, like my domestic team, I'll generally bowl one over in the top six. Sometimes it'll be the first over, or sometimes it'll be like the fifth over, which can sometimes be the fifth and sixth over sometimes can be the worst times to bowl as a spinner. But it's also the time where you can pick up wickets. So I kind of look at it in that fashion. I go, well, I may get hit for a few, but there's a good chance I can pick up a wicket in this little block here. And then obviously bowling through the middle is a little bit better than one-day cricket now. You're still allowed 5 out, so it feels like you're covering more of the ground. But yeah, it's a different challenge in New Zealand. Those small grounds, better wickets in terms of not as much off the surface, but you do learn how to outthink a batsman. You learn to start thinking about what the batsman's doing next. And I 100% agree that the fact that the other asset that leggies have is the fact that they're so unpredictable in terms of where that next length's going to be. But I think as a finger spinner, if you're smart and you really know the game well and you're a good student of the game and have a good feel for what the batsman's going to do next, you can really be very, very good in terms of being able to deliver what you need to next ball. It's just being open to the fact that, okay, these are my options and this is what the batsman's going to try next, and this is what I'm going to deliver. And then you also learn how not to get hit as well, get hit out for that one when you know that the batsman's coming or you feel like he's on top of you, so you can just give him that one and go, actually, I'll bowl at the other guy who I have a better chance against. So it's just using your brain a bit more and really, starting to challenge yourself in terms of understanding the game a bit more.
Interesting you said that. As a test match bowler, short and wide is a poor ball. A leg stump half volley is even worse. And in T20, those are probably some of the best friends that a T20 spinner can have. So I think it's just.
I think that's something we struggle with, isn't it? It's like understanding that our worst ball is our best ball when it comes to changing.
I've been saying this since 2013, and I've been learning the same art because we play a lot of the IPL. That bowling a bad ball without feeling ashamed as a test spinner or a test match spinner, because I was brought up as a spinner at first class cricket by my coach saying you cannot bowl a ball for the cut or for the cover drive, So I was brought up in that culture. But from 2012, I've been saying this: choose a bad ball and execute the bad ball beautifully, because that's the best T20 ball that you can pick. In between, if you've got a window, bowl a good ball. Never mind. So
I can fully understand that.
But I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is. Because my tussle with Virender Sehwag in the middle, right? I bowled reasonably well to him in IPL. And one of the reasons is I always bowled bad balls to him because he expected good balls, length balls on the stump, up and down, dragging the length back. He will sit back and pull you. So that's exactly how I feel about the T20 format. So what's next, Ajaz? Every time we watch the footage of the New Zealand batters before the T20 World Cup, there was Ajaz Patel who was getting the wicket of every top Kiwi batter. So does that mean Ajaz is looking at probably an IPL team? Looking forward to.
I hope so. I mean, obviously that'd be fantastic. I think the IPL offers, players a great opportunity to actually learn a lot from other individuals around them. I mean, you have some of the greats when it comes to, international cricket, but not only that, but you're playing with, as a spinner, you're playing with batters from India who are actually very, very good players of spin. So being able to pick their brains on how they're looking to play spin and get an understanding of them around what they try and do when it comes to spin bowling, I think that's something that someone like me could learn a lot from and grow a lot from. And I think it'll only help my game get better. Obviously, I've had a good run in so far with white ball, and I want to develop that further. And it's definitely something that I take pride in. I certainly don't consider myself just a one format bowler. It's just looking for those opportunities, and if that opportunity presents itself, no doubt I'll be out there rearing to go and looking to try and create some magic so that people can actually go, look, actually he can play white ball. Because that's the other thing, right, is when you're on the fringes, every time you get an opportunity, you just go out there hungry to try and make the most of it, because you know that you don't know when that next opportunity is coming. So, I mean, for me, it's obviously one of the best leagues when it comes to T20 cricket around the world, and there's a lot of big guys there who you can actually pick their brains and learn a lot from. I've been to a couple of those Mumbai trainings, and it was just amazing, just being able to just bowl to them, and just see how they play the game differently and what they're trying to hit and what they're not hitting, and also how you can craft some good balls against those kind of players. So I certainly back myself as a player, and if the opportunity comes, I'll be ecstatic and really looking for it. But try not to think too far ahead as well. Stay in the present, keep focusing on my game and growing that, and whatever happens from there happens from there. But yeah, it would be nice.
There are quite a few people who speak to me about IPL, picking people, scouting, and stuff like that. The one thing that I say is, do not look at players as a commodity, because it's not the size of the dog that matters; it's the fight of the dog that matters. So clearly, you showed a lot of fight in the last couple of months that you've been last month or so here behind your exploits with two new teams coming in. I wish you all the best to get an IPL contract. But before I let you go, I've got a quick three questions to ask you. Um, the first of which is five toughest batters that you've bowled to, or five favorite batters.
Well, one of them I really enjoy bowling to is Kane, obviously, because you've come up against him on a good day. He's so difficult to tie down. Another one is Joe Root for that same reason. He's just very, very good at manipulating you, and then as soon as you bowl a bad ball, it's gone. I enjoyed the challenge of bowling to Virat. This is the first time I really got a decent opportunity to bowl to him, especially in that second innings, obviously, where you could just see he was starting to expand his game, and how quickly he moved, I guess, in terms of being able to use the depth of the crease, but also getting forward and getting to a good length very quickly. But I actually enjoyed bowling to Shreyas in that second test, in that first test. Sorry, I suppose the fact that on that surface, even though it was a little bit up and down, he still had the confidence just to go, this is the ball that I'm taking, I'm going to take it. It doesn't matter what happens. And Mayank's innings was ridiculous. I mean, I haven't had the luxury of bowling to kind of, all of the big teams around the world, and generally when I've played them in New Zealand, I haven't had the opportunity. But I remember the other one was Babar Azam early on in his Test career when he was batting kind of six. For Pakistan in my debut series, and I remember thinking, geez, this guy's got a seriously good technique, and he could really take it away on you if he's having a good day. So I mean, for me, those are the kind of guys I enjoy. The challenge of bowling to guys who are really good manipulators of the ball, the guys that really take your good balls and drop it away for a single and don't really let you settle. Because as a bowler, especially when it comes to, I guess, red ball cricket, is kind of like the challenge of being able to keep one batsman at one end for a long period of time, and the ones that just manipulate your good balls, then you go, oh, well, actually that was a good ball. Like, what do I bowl next, kind of thing. And the guys that do it frequently, you kind of asking, you start asking yourself questions, going, well, actually, is it a good ball? Do I need to change my length on the surface? And then as soon as you do that, they just capitalise. It's gone, 4 runs. And then you go, oh, maybe it is a good ball. I just got to go back to that. So that challenge I actually enjoy.
So if you want to take a fiver, you take 10 wickets. And if I ask for five batters, you gave me six. So let me ask five all-time favorite bowlers.
Favorite bowlers?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed in the current game, in the modern game.
Anytime.
All time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, I guess, a left arm spinner. There's two that come to mind. Rangana, watching him bowl, very, very similar in terms of height and stature, and but in terms of what he achieved in the game, obviously he was far ahead when it came to that. So watching him bowl was a treat. Growing up as a spinner. Wasim Akram, when I was younger, I used to love watching him bowl as a left arm seamer, watching him swing the ball. Daniel Vittori, just for his control. His control was phenomenal. And to this day, I kind of look at him and I just think, wow, you're still kind of amazed at the control he had on that ball up and down, and the changes of pace. You're just kind of like, wow, that's something crazy. In in recent times, I've enjoyed watching Lion. He gets a lot up and down. Really. I guess, and then the other one obviously would be yourself, in the sense that once again,
Thank you.
and
You're
I
on my
don't
show.
mean
You better call me on.
I don't mean it in that sense, but it's also because of the fact that, for me, it's always been important to get the ball up and down. And a lot of the times, people say, "Oh, you got to go to India, you have to bowl sideways," because they've watched Jadu do his magic and just bowl sideways and just tear through teams. But it's also nice for me to watch you do it a different way, in terms of being able to go up and down and that control and that change and the subtleties that other people probably don't pick up on, but I'm watching very closely in terms of, okay, that's a bit more side on, a bit more over the top, or that was out of the front of the hand, or that was a little bit quicker, a little bit slower, and get into your head around how you're trying to break this batsman down. As a spinner, that art is something that I enjoy. Watching a bowler break someone down over a period of time. And I guess in the modern game, yourself and Nathan Lyon, both off spinners, unfortunately, but watching you guys do it is something that I actually enjoy because of the craft of spin bowling, and it's something that wants me to kind of grow and keep getting better at. And it's my style of bowling. Like, I'd love to say as a left arm spinner that if I could bowl like Judd's, I would love to be able to do that. But I mean, he is very unique in the way that he bowls, and if I tried to bowl like him, I would be nowhere near as good, or be able to do what he does. So for me, going over the top is my style of bowling, and making sure that I rip the ball. So for me, it's about that, and enjoying that craft and watching that craft and watching it unfold is quite magical sometimes.
Ijaz, I don't know if it's happened to you, but I'm just saying this, having been there for a while and having done it. Everybody around you will ask you to follow someone else that's got success and just do it the way they want to do. They are doing it, but none of those batters will go out and play like some other batter who's got success. Nobody prescribes a batter to go out there and bat like ABD because ABD is successful. So everybody has got their own strengths and they will succeed underneath. But after a long time, I'm seeing a non-subcontinental spinner come over and bowl. The art that you have, the skill that you have, is unbelievable. It's going up and down, and that's a skill maybe a normal audience, a normal cricket fan might not be able to see. But I watched and loved it. But that's not where I'm finishing it. Finally, which IPL team do you want to go to? Which IPL team is your favorite?
Well, being a Mumbai boy, I've always supported Mumbai, so I don't think I can change that now. But look, it's a great competition. Anywhere that I go, I'll be lucky. I'm not going to say that I'm very much like that's it, but yeah, Mumbai would be pretty cool. Obviously, Wankhede at home in front of a home crowd. But yeah, any team in the IPL would be a very, very humbling experience for sure.
So yeah, that's Ajaz. He's got 10 wickets at the Wankhede. So Mumbai Indians, if you're watching, he's a great buy at the auction. A base price, we will sort out the base price. Ajaz, get whatever they need. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll
all
be
the very
ready.
best. I hope you get an IPL contract and look forward to seeing you bowl. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this show, and my
Thanks, mate.
regards to your family and your
Really
parents.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank
Next
you.
time you got to give me the opportunity to ask you questions so that I can pick your brain and bowl.
Oh, you could have absolutely done that this time, but I'll give you a separate one.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks.